My Little Pony and New Generation. Some people might ask, why are you reviewing this? You're not obviously the target demographic. True. And I still like the previous show to this, Friendship is Magic. Thought it was a good show. So, clearly, this is a series that can be enjoyed by people outside of its demographic. This show has shown that many times before, has a huge fan base. It blew up. There was conventions held for this thing for just male fans specifically. There's a whole term for it called brony, which I believe was actually put in the dictionary. I'm not exactly sure. Heard that somewhere, but that might not be true. But, anyways, I enjoyed that series, and a lot of people heard about this film. Was announced. It was announced that it was going to Netflix, and I think a lot of that had to do with the previous My Little Pony movie they put out a few years ago. I think that came out 2017, 2018, somewhere in there. And they put out that movie, and it did okay for the budget that thing had. But I think they wanted it to do better. And so they just were like, you know what? The actual series is on Netflix. It's extremely popular on Netflix. Let's just put this here to set up our new series. But then they were also saying that this series was supposed to be connected to the previous show, so it's not just like other My Little Pony series in the past where it's like it's just a reboot, and it's for the new generation. Which, first of all, some people might be upset that the show ended and they're doing another series, now and all that. Um, but the way you have to look at it is like this. Okay, this show is owned by Hasbro, who is a toy company. You are a fan, yes, and you're giving them money by watching the show, that type of thing, and going to the conventions and things like that. They like that, but they also understand that their main demographic is children who buy the toys. Now, adults can buy the toys, but most likely you're not because, well, you're not the demographic that would buy the toys, so they don't factor you in. Now they make collectible My Little Pony figures and statues, things like that, but for the most part, they do not market toys towards you. So they market towards children. So the original My Little Pony show went on, I think it started in 2012, 2010. That's about, I was on for about 8, 7 years. So the demographic grew up, and now they need to give new life into it to sell new toys. That's kind of how these things work. And so the good thing about it is they didn't just do a reboot. Like I said, they're doing a continuation without a that's in the same world, and so that way, maybe those older fans can come back and watch it. I know some of them might be mad and may not like it, but I think overall, I think most of them would like this. This show actually, this not the show, this movie actually takes place in the same world. I was surprised how much it did because some people saw in the trailer that they put out, Netflix has put out, that this trailer had toys of the main characters from the last series in the background, Twilight Sparkle, all that stuff. And so this show takes place in the same world, but years and years later, it is implied to be because basically, Twilight and her friends have become legends, and now the world has changed. They're not all the different types of ponies aren't friends like they used to be. They're very much afraid of each other, and so it's about these our characters going on quests to save that. I don't know why. I don't know why they split apart though. Here's what the thing to me. I feel like they should have done. This movie is fine, but I feel like this movie should have been a lot of introducing of how these ponies split apart at the beginning, explaining how they split apart, and then the rest of the movie should have been them trying to fix it. And I think that would have worked better, but it didn't. But overall, I think this movie's fine. I think it's exactly what you would have wanted out of this movie. I don't think the old fans will be very upset. I don't think the newer fans will be very upset either. because I think this movie does a good job at introducing these characters. Only thing I don't like about some of these characters, I think some of them, while they are different from the last series group of characters, a lot of them have very similar traits, which is a little irritating, but for the most part, it's fine. They're still their own characters, and I enjoyed that, and I'm excited to see where this series goes. The movie was very beautifully animated. I really liked the new CG look. I know some people were kind of like, why not 2D? But I think the 2D looked fine, but this is pretty. It looks, I would say it looks better, honestly. That's just me. I'm excited to see where this series goes. I think if you like the last series, you're gonna like this movie and you should watch it. If you have kids, they'll definitely like it. It's kind of more geared towards them more than anything. Again, I'm not pointing out the target demographic as a bad thing. I'm just pointing out that this is why things like this happen. This is kind of how it works, and you can enjoy it, but you have to acknowledge that too, that you were not the one they made this for. So